And we're live. Hello, people. My name is Dan Duran, Tech Lounge here. I'm sitting here today with Adam Stevens, Director of Growth Marketing at Uvaru. Hello, Adam. How are you?
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Pumped, full
Awesome.
of energy.
Absolutely.
I also have
Nice.
my co-host extraordinaire, Andrew Summerton, CEO of Beware Technologies and Rhino Cybersecurity. Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Dan. Hey, Adam. How are you guys?
Great.
Amazing. Tech sales training. We have a great show for you today. And just to get you a little bit on the backstory with Adam, we go a long way back with Adam. So Andrew, while I'm checking the tech and the sound and all of that, maybe you can tell us a little bit about
A-
Adam Stevens and our experience with them in a
Absolutely.
personal level.
Absolutely. I mean, in any organization, track record and partnerships are incredible. And Adam and us and Be Wired have been working together for a long, long time, actually, quite a few years. And Adam's kind of followed us on his journey and his growth through corporations and businesses. And I won't go through which ones and which companies we've worked with Adam on, but it's been a great experience. And he's had confidence and faith with us, with our technology. And his experience has certainly helped us. And if you want to know more about Adam and the company he's worked for, please go to his LinkedIn page at Adam
Yes,
Stevens. And yeah, you can learn all about him. He's a fantastic guy with a wealth
I
of
know.
knowledge.
I know, and they're pretty good companies. They're big size companies, and we
Huge,
have
absolutely,
we have such a good experience with those companies. So check them out. Check Adam's profile, and then maybe sometimes you can hire us as well, right?
absolutely.
All right. So Adam, man, we go a long way back,
Long
probably
way.
7, 8 years, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you've been great, not just on a professional level, but also on a personal level.
Oh,
With
thanks.
with your nerdiness, and we like nerdiness, right? This show is all
We're
about
fellows of a
nerdiness.
feather. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do in your spare time, and we had a really a couple of stories that we were sharing. Share with us.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, no surprise to anybody. I'm a, marketer by day and Uber nerd by night. And I think I got into it because my dad actually. My grandfather way back in the day was a tank driver for the British in World War II,
Really?
and
Wow.
just had some crazy things going on. Yeah. And I think that as a way for dad to kind of connect with my granddad, he got into war games. So like little tiny miniatures, you create like, historical battles, that kind of thing. And,
Right.
I'm
Wow.
5 years old.
and
Yeah.
and,
And I'm
and that's
thinking,
crazy. That's crazy because I wouldn't be able to have the patience to be able to paint those little figurines, but they look amazing, man. They look
Oh,
really nice. The settings and all of that.
absolutely. So you
yeah,
paint all the little figurines to create the war scenes and everything else, and the tanks and all that stuff.
that's exactly it. Yeah. And we do
Wow.
it all now with 3D printing. It's incredible where the
Oh,
technology's gone. But yeah, we do it all. Like I have a,
Wow.
a maker basement.
very cool.
Yeah, it looks like a Santa's little helper's shop. When you look at Adam's place, is unbelievable. It's so cool. He's got all the little utensils and all the little tools and paints and stuff like that on the back wall, and it looks amazing. So kudos to you, buddy.
Thanks, bud.
Amazing work. Tell us a little bit about Uvaru and what the company that you represent does.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited about what we're doing here at Uvaru. We're in a nutshell, we're a career transition company. That specializes currently in tech sales. And so what we found is, with the pandemic, being what it is, there's a lot of people who are looking to make a career transition, or if even just find work.
Hmm.
And the thing is that they learn, like everybody gets by in business at some point learning some form of soft skills.
Yes.
And so I think that a lot of people don't even realize that they're already qualified.
Hmm.
It's just around learning what they need to know to be able to get involved in tech sales, and that's where we come in. Is we can provide them with the training, the lexicon, to understand what are things like terms like SaaS, what does B2B mean?
Yes.
When we talk about things like pipeline, what does that mean?
Right.
Yeah, so we provide them
It's
with all of that training.
yeah, it's definitely not the traditional, educational sales type of training. I've heard some
No.
pretty cool things about Uvaru, and the fact that you guys are in Kitchener-Waterloo, the mecca of
Oh yeah.
technology. It's so amazing. So tell me, what makes you special? What makes Uvaru special from the traditional way of training?
Yeah. So, you take a look at some of the other like tech sales training groups right now, and oftentimes, they just provide you with the training, and then that's kind of it. They throw you out there, and then they say, okay, great, you know everything that you need to know. Spread your wings and fly.
Right.
The problem that
Yes.
exists around that,
So true.
right?
Here's
But
a book. Here's this. Go out and sell.
I
Make us some money.
I shake my head,
yeah,
buddy, because I've heard so many times, and we have interns, for example, and we have people that come to us, and they're given the certificate. Here's your certificate, your diploma, your degree, or whatever is you're attaining, and there's our like counseling support system if you want, but you're on your own, man. You get out there,
yeah.
and then what do I do next? I don't even know how to polish my resume. I don't know how to talk to people, how to negotiate salaries and all of that. You guys do
Well,
that,
that's
right?
it. Yeah, we do. Yeah, and so we not only provide them with a 12-week course, that trains is a deep training course with experienced instructors in the field, but we also provide them with services like career coaching services. Alex Parks, shout out to Alex. Um, she does a tremendous job in conferring with our students, and getting them armed and ready for what does that tech sales job interview look like? How do we get your resume up to snuff? How do we
Yes.
get you networking on LinkedIn, because
Yeah.
networking is such an important tool
I'm
nowadays,
glad that
right?
you're mentioning LinkedIn, because that's the place to be at. And
It is.
some of these educational facilities, I don't want to name any, traditional, they don't even know what LinkedIn is, right?
Well, and that's the problem. And here's the thing is, like, you go through a traditional education institution. I mean, like, not to slag anything or
Exactly. Yeah.
anything around that, but you go through this program development, and it takes so long to get that program developed. I've often found that by the time it actually hits the students, technology in revenue operations is moving so quickly
Right.
that by the time the student is actually able to absorb and digest that content and use it in the marketplace, it's not even relevant anymore.
Yes,
It's advancing too fast.
For
So
sure.
absolutely, absolutely. So when students are out of the call, and the what are just tell me two things that they do that you guys do. So the first one, I think, is the coaching. Do you provide coaching?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we
Okay.
have we have yeah, it's a component of what we offer is that coaching
Mm-hmm.
element. And then we back that, because we're KW, right? So it's
Yep.
technology. So we back
Yes.
this up also with technology. And we're at this interesting intersection of
Yes.
service, being service oriented, and then technology oriented. And part of how we do that on the technology side is, we allow them things like the students get access to, like homework portals.
Mm-hmm.
There's communication channels where they can have real-time communication with their instructors,
Yes.
similar to like how you would imagine a tutorial
Yeah.
class, that kind of thing in university or
Right.
college. And then I'm so proud to say it, kind of like a sneak peek is,
Go
we've
ahead.
actually you've heard it here first, is we have just released a new job board on our website, which is so exciting, because what this does is this basically aggregates all of these positions that are available in North America, and then refine this down to what specifically you're looking for. So it's
What's
like
that?
an
Absolutely, and
ecosystem.
What's
that's
your website,
exactly.
Adam? For
Yeah,
just
it's
in case I'm looking for a job, because I think it's what is it? Your website?
it's uvaro.com,
Uvaru.com.
uvaro.com. Yeah,
Perfect.
Adam,
yeah.
and that's exactly where I wanted to get into the technology side of it. I mean,
Yeah.
we're
Nice.
a technology show, right? So we focus our
Yeah.
talk on technology, and it makes me so excited. 500,000 job postings on that job board. I
Unbelievable.
mean,
Yeah, I
you
think
say
we're
like
over
it's
that now.
not a big deal, but to me that's like huge, man.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah. The engineering team has been working so hard
Yeah.
to, to build this piece of technology for us. Yeah, that it's quite a feat. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing.
Adam, what's the fear factor though? I mean, if you're transitioning into a new career and tech sales is scary. I mean, I could be a traditional
Oh,
sales guy for, selling anything, and sales it's a unique trait for sure.
mhm.
But tech is scary. What are you guys seeing as far as a transition? Like, what does that look like for a new student, or maybe an older person wanting, as you said, a career change?
Yeah, actually, you bring up a good point. Because it's how do I frame this up? Yeah, so tech sales, like when you hear that term tech sales, it can seem intimidating,
Yeah,
if you don't know, if you haven't been familiar with it beforehand. And it's not. The reality of the situation is it doesn't matter what you're selling, you're still connecting humans to humans,
right,
right? And that's a real key behind, anybody being a successful salesperson,
right.
is finding, where do you find that human connection, and then how do you support what their needs are, and resolve their needs through, our, a technological solution, which is where the
Amazing.
tech component comes in on this. Yeah.
Amazing.
Uh,
So just to talk about the human component, we're live, right? So we
yeah.
got people coming in now. So we have Boris Hernandez. Hello, Boris. I hope you're doing
Hey.
fantastic. Thank you for joining us again. We have Gladstone. Gladstone is our senior project manager. He loves our show and he's like
Excellent. Yeah.
supporting us as well. We
Hey,
have
guys, don't.
Diego. Hey, kudos to you, Gladstone, and the whole entire team. We have a pretty big marketing team backing us up. Diego, hello, Diego. He's got a question for you, Adam. So I can jump right
Oh,
into the
great.
questions from our listeners. So, Adam, has the pandemic increased the number of people interested in technology sales training? Wow, good
Good
question.
question.
Awesome question. Yeah. So yeah, there's been a lot of industries that have been adversely affected by the pandemic. I'm happy to say that we're not one of them.
Yes.
So many people are looking for work now, especially as the pandemic, as recovery efforts are in full swing right now. So what we're finding is, have you guys ever heard of this, this thing going on in the media where they're talking about the Great Resignation?
The Great
I ha-
The
Resignation.
I
Great
haven't heard.
Resignation.
No, I'm interested. I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like the Great Depression. I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Feels like that
resignation. Wow.
sometimes.
Tell us,
Well, that's
please.
exactly it. So the Great Resignation is this. The idea is that after lots of surveys, um, employers are finding that that there is a significant component of their employee base that are actually looking to move. They've had so much time working from home. Now that people are starting to move into a hybrid model as job markets are starting to open up,
Yes.
Yeah.
they're thinking of, oh geez, like maybe I need to move around somewhere, or maybe I need to look into a career transition, or maybe I'm not quite fulfilled where I am. 85% of
Yes.
employees are actively disengaged from their work.
85%.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
It's unbelievable.
That makes me
Yeah.
think that our company is amazing. Because our numbers, like, I'm all seriousness, like in our company, we never heard of people quitting, or everybody's always on time, and we have this really rich culture that I'm very proud of everybody.
Oh,
And
that's
kudos
amazing.
to my entire team, our entire team. Adam, we heard that from our past speaker.
I was
Remember
going to say
Andrew?
that. Yeah. The HR.
Yeah, we
Really?
had an HR company actually giving a talk,
Yeah.
and basically what's happening is that people don't want to go back to the office. So when
No,
you force them
generally.
as a company, you force them to go back to the office, they say, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here. And they put
Yep.
the resignation because they want to continue working from home, obviously.
And to your point, Adam, they felt disengaged over the last year and a half working from home. One of the things we do as a company to keep everybody engaged is have those regular morning meetings and continue, constantly working together as a team to feel like you're engaged. Because you're right, if you feel like you're out on an island by yourself and give you all that time to
Totally.
think, you're going to I want to change my environment. I want to change my career. I want to change my life. and they've had a
Yes.
year and a half to think about that. So I can imagine what you're going through and what you're seeing, and to your point, what's what they're seeing out there.
Absolutely. And
That's
tell
exactly
us
it.
tell us a little bit about the job obsolescence that is occurring. Because we had that question from Diego on COVID, and I think job obsolescence is one of the main things, and how Uvaru is able to help people move on and do the better things.
Yeah, awesome question. So I'm gonna call out one of our recent grads. I had a chance to meet with him yesterday, actually, in person. We were able to do a photo shoot for the first time
Nice.
of some of our graduates. Yeah, down in
Wow.
Yorkville.
What's his name?
Matt Fairbanks. And so what's really exciting about his story is, during the pandemic, I mean, by trade he's a bartender.
Okay.
Wow.
And so, of course, with everything locking down and then multiple lockdowns, Matt was finding, it's really difficult to find work as a bartender. But in there's the crucible of, like, Matt is a very engaging individual.
Right.
He already possesses a lot of those soft skills.
Yes.
It was really just around, how do we hone on those items and then train him, teach him the necessary skills that are required to be able to succeed in tech sales.
Right.
And now he's flourishing. He's in a position now where he's able to, he's actually selling technology back to the restaurant industry.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
And so
turnaround, eh? That's
it's
crazy.
amazing.
Kudos to you, Matt. Kudos to you.
Yeah,
But
he did a good job.
I think that's cool when you say he was a bartender, because I mean their skill set as a bartender is so engaging, right? You need to be
Yes.
you need to be able to engage with people and talk to them. So to your point, to have that ability to, as a salesperson or confidence, and then be able to hone those skills to transfer it into tech. I mean, great example. I mean,
Totally,
kudos to
yeah.
him. That's fantastic.
So
I mean, they always say that bartenders are therapists, right?
Absolutely, that's right.
He's already
Oh,
got
yeah.
the skills.
it's especially when you have like a one too many poured in already. They're really good at like giving you that support, right? So
Yeah.
so Adam, tell us a little bit about the program. How many weeks? How immersive is it? Is it live classes? What kind of packages? What kind of stuff does Uvaru provide for
Yeah.
incumbents?
Great question. So yeah, it's a 12-week program. So it's quite intensive. You're looking at, I believe it's 2 hours a day, live classes online. And we have, the majority of our audience, or our student base is based in North America, but we also have people, all over the world who are attending
cool.
our classes. And that's the nice thing about being able to be a virtual company.
Yes.
Is we can offer those things, across the globe. So it's a 12-week program, and then you have so there's a lot of engagement with your instructors, both in group settings, and also in a one-on-one basis. They're also receiving career coaching, like I'd mentioned from Alex, which is fantastic, and is constantly brought up as a component that people find real value out of.
Absolutely.
And
And
then,
it's a real life experience. That's what people are looking for.
Yeah.
Immersive experiences, not just and I hate to put other mock type of training down, but what I don't like about them is that pre-recorded classes, like you complete it as you please. If you don't want, you can just move on. Don't pay attention for the next couple of weeks or three or a month, and then go back to it. This is like real-time interaction with teachers, which makes a training absolutely immersive and special, right? So,
Absolutely.
Sorry, Dan, Adam, real important question though, with the pandemic and obviously, excitement about changing careers, et cetera, but dollars and cents have been a huge concern for everybody in the last year and a half, 2 years, right? And I mean, not only are you worried about getting a job, but you're worried about having a job or paying your bills. How does that work as far as changing your career or finding tech? Like, how are you guys expensive, or how does that work?
Yeah. So we, on average, we're finding that people see at least 120% increase in their overall income earnings, coming forward into the,
amazing.
after the position. On average, they're finding, what was it, within 6 I can't remember the like right off the top of my head here, but the acceleration in which they are able to find positions. I'm constantly hearing stories about people who, students who have been able to secure a position before they've even
Yes.
graduated the program,
Right. Wow.
which is fantastic. And I think that's
Wow.
part of, the ecosystem that we're able to build here. In terms of payment, we found that a lot of people who come to us, especially down in the States, they're not able to access
Mhm.
traditional education institutions, and we
Okay.
want to be able to be accessible. So we offer really flexible payment arrangements where,
Yes.
if you want to pay it up front, no problem, you can pay it down. The 12-week course is, I think, $5,000. But we often find that other, people will often leverage things like our income share agreement program,
Yeah.
where, we're able to come forward and say, okay, great. We don't want you to have to worry about the finances at this current point. Just get through the course, and then what we can do is we can have an income share agreement. So once you've
Amazing.
secured employment, then we can take care of the tuition. And
Okay,
then we
that's
Amazing,
also
cool.
offer,
amazing, Adam. So,
yeah,
and the main reason is, and the reason I'm shaking my head a little bit is because all the other institutions is like, show me the moolah first, and then we'll give you training, and then you'll get the
yeah,
education, right? So they want to have the money in their pocket first. You guys are
It's
turning
so true.
education upside down. Absolutely. Adam, I have another question. So, what are your prices? Packages.
oh yeah.
I know Andrew was talking about your price point and stuff, but exactly how much is it?
Right.
Yeah, so the tuition is 5,000 USD
Okay.
for the 12-week program, or we also offer a subscription model, which is, if you want to break that out into payments, then you can do that. And then we also offer, like I was mentioning before, the income share agreement. So you don't start paying until you've secured employment.
I like that.
Um,
I like that.
yeah, it's
Some people,
flexible.
like this is especially critical for people that don't have a job and they've been, struggling all along. And we were talking about, single mothers with kids, for example, that they
Yeah.
don't have the means to be able to, afford $5,000 for a training program before, and but they do have the motivation that they want to get ahead in life, right?
Yeah, well, and like that's an interesting study that we had just completed. Was, we were surprised to find it, but we found that, on average, we're finding that our demographic is, predominantly, female leaning, between the ages of 22 and 35, although we've got lots of cases of people who are older, like in their 40s, 50s even, who are graduating from the program and having success. They're predominantly, they're identified, um, as being part of the BIPOC community,
Yes.
or single moms, that kind of thing. So, if you take a look at it like from a socio perspective, these are chronically underserved demographics.
Wow.
Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Hmm.
being able to make a career transition accessible, is really essential in this portion of society.
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing is that I can be, and as I was explaining to you, I can be in a little room, right? Renting a room, for example, at a house, and not really have a very big income, and I can have kids
Yeah,
and dogs, and I can still work because I'm connecting online in through my tech sales job, right? So which is makes it very very wonderful for people that don't have the means, but they can still have a camera, they have a microphone, and they can do sales. Amazing.
Absolutely.
that's the thing. Yeah,
Globally.
like our starter kit, I think that we offer up a starter kit, and it often comes with like a mic and a ring light, and we were talking tech just before we went live here. So these are all kind of components that, as long as you've got like a laptop with a camera and a halfway decent mic, you've already got it. You've already got the tech you need.
Right.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
I have a few questions here from people. So just if you hang on, just one more minute, we'll answer all those questions. But I just want to ask one
Awesome.
very important question, Adam. And I know you guys have, and this makes it very very amazing, right? So when I graduated from my undergraduate degree, I was owing about $55,000 in OSAP. Okay,
Yep.
and in so this is a double question. The first one is, you guys work with OSAP as well, or is it because you have this facility to be able to, okay, I get a job and then I start paying you, that you don't have OSAP? How does it work with this type of grants and loans from the government and stuff?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we aren't associated with the OSAP system, which is fine by, generally is not a barrier. It's interesting because like the average, like if you take a look at it in the States, the average US student debt upon graduation is 40,000 USD.
Crazy.
That's a lot of money to end up like owing right just to get to the starting gate.
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know how folks do it. At
I
this
know.
point
I
anyway.
mean, you're like 65 years old when you're in when you stop paying your your final payment on your OSAP. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's so difficult, and these components of training are they're regarded as required in a lot of ways.
Right.
And so yeah, certainly like we want to be able to provide a solution that is far more feasible for people. It's great if you've gone to university or college, and you've been able to develop and hone those critical thinking skills. I think that's I applaud everybody who goes through those things. But
absolutely.
they aren't the academic knowledge isn't necessarily required to be able to perform and really succeed in these kinds of roles, because at the end of the day it comes down to how do you go about developing rapport, human connection,
Yeah.
and be service oriented and be able to provide people with solutions to what their pains are.
Amazing. So leading right into what you're saying, Adam, I have a question here from Alexis Ramirez, and he asks, what are some of the skills that are different in tech sales compared to regular sales?
Oh,
good question.
That is a good question. Yeah, so in tech sales, especially if you're dealing with business to business, you're going to find that the procurement cycles sometimes they can be a bit longer.
Right.
And just speaking as somebody who has gone through the vendor procurement cycle many times, oftentimes there are different stages of those conversations. You have your initial discovery calls, right? But then invariably at some point, if you're looking at like a platform or a technology solution, you're going to want to have somebody who's involved in that conversation there that can provide you with the technical answers.
Right.
So oftentimes it's like a technical sales consultant, or you might have a pod of sales reps that are working on, on the deal in the back end, and they can provide you like technical sales engineers. They can also provide those kinds of like answers to technical questions, things like integrations. I know that that's one of the first things that I ask when I'm looking at a solution.
Yes.
To add to our tech stack is, how do you guys integrate with our current tech stack, right?
Yeah.
That is so
yeah.
crucial. So, and
is.
Andrew, you can maybe attest to that, because we are a technology company, Rhino Cybersecurity, Big Wire Technologies, and we always constantly have the need for sales. How those skills append to the stuff that we do?
Well, I mean, to what Adam's saying, I mean, it's exactly bang on. So, the educational aspect of, partnering with a company or trying to get their business or earn their business is engagement first and finding out their needs, but then having that technical support in that next, possibly second or third meeting. And, if you're selling a pair of shoes to somebody, they want it right there, they buy it, it's a 5-minute or half an hour exercise. You're still engaging, you still have to have that interaction, but the technical skill set isn't there. And with tech sales, definitely you need, as Adam's saying, that second or third or fourth meeting that's going to actually drive that sale home. And it is, the process is a little longer, but you definitely need to have that support from a technical expert, either in the organization or you as a skill set, right? I mean, but again, as a sales guy, our world is education, educate the company what we offer, and then have our professionals, our technical guys come in and actually, sell the sizzle of our product and services.
Yeah. And it's funny, like we have at the end of every class, we have we host an event live called Demo Day, and it's become my very favorite event. And internally we joke around with the students, and we often say like, this will be your hardest cold call that you'll ever have in your career. Because it's it's in front of a live audience, it's on YouTube Live. you've got
Really?
judges, and there are potentially talent, people who are interested in the talent who, for with our employer partners. So lots of pressure.
Yep.
Despite this, our champions and graduates, they come to this competition, and the idea is that they've got to have a discovery call, identify what that person's pain is, book them for another meeting, talk through the solutions, and book them for that meeting within a 15-minute period.
Wow,
A
nice.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're,
And
if
just
you're, go
go
ahead.
ahead. Well, I was going to say that despite these challenges, like seeing the dialogue that happens in the back on the Slack channel while this is going on, like our students are like, they're patting each other on the backs, and they're like, hey man, that was amazing, like way to dig
Nice.
into what their to discover what their pain points were.
Yeah.
Awesome slide decks, and there's all this camaraderie and excitement behind it.
Yeah.
It's quickly become this incredible event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love that you mentioned Slack, for example. That's one of the tools that we use, and you guys are.
Yes, dude.
I mean, when you are in the traditional education, you don't use Slack. Come on. But you guys do, and which is pretty forward thinking, by the way. So
Yeah.
And if you're in sales, if you're in sales, you can't choke up, right? I mean, you have to have this personality, and this is exactly one of the questions that Gabriela Gugliopara is asking. She says, "Hello guys, what kind of people does it sound like to join your sales trainings the most?" So I guess your target market, who would this appeal to?
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's pretty broad in that regard. I talked about a little bit that, we find that oftentimes it's, folks between the ages of like 22 and 35 on average, but we've also got folks that come in from, like they're in their, mid to late 40s, like myself. You've also got, we just had a recent graduate who was highlighted in the media. He's in his 50s and crushing it.
Right.
So I would say that if you're looking into some sort of, people-oriented, service-oriented kind of career shift, then
Yes.
tech sales might be the ticket for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially if you already have a predilection towards technology.
Absolutely. And the main thing is that it doesn't matter really if you're an introvert or you're kind of shy, because Uvaru will teach you the skills to overcome some of those fears as well, right? So when we're in technology, a lot of people are shy, man. I mean, we're logical. We go through and
we're shy people by nature. I'm an introvert.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's so funny because it's so true. Because if you look at the dynamic of our team, and you have sales guys, you have developers, you have cybersecurity guys, you can literally see a drawdown everybody's personality, exactly how, because you're a little bit more quiet, a little bit more introverted, a little bit outgoing. Like it's actually quite funny to see the difference. So
the interaction is priceless.
So,
yeah.
So Adam, as a student, what do I get after I graduate? Do I get a certificate? Do I get the diploma? How in terms of like educational credits or some sort of paper that I receive? How does it work?
Yeah, so we provide you with a certificate, when you come out of the program, and then we also we've been working with the American Association of Inside Sales Professionals, in a standardized like a standardized certification exam or test.
Right.
Okay.
And so we were able to test that out with our first cohort just a little while ago, and that'll provide an enhanced level of certification on the in our program.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have another question here from Boris Hernandez. Hello, Boris. I hope you're doing fantastic. Thank you for joining us. People, thank you for joining us. We're getting a lot of questions, really good questions actually here, and people saying hello on the chat. He says, during what dates are the registrations open? Or is it permanently open for everybody? What months do I need to join?
Oh,
Good
great.
question.
Yeah. So that is a great question. So we're running courses every month. So we run cohorts, in every month. And I believe, so we're in August, we're actually running two. where we've got an early evening course that's offered up at 6 p.m. Starts on August 23rd, and that's going to be instructed by our instructor James Howell. We've also got a late night course, for those of those folks who are night owls or possibly over in the Pacific, time zone, and that starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, August 23rd, everybody. So if you're
August
listening
23rd.
to this chat and you want to join tech sales training, amazing tech sales training, August 23rd is your date. So go
That's right.
run to
Get it in.
Uvaru and get signed up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
Adam, could I have a question for you? Really, I mean, it could be completely, it's not off topic, but as a business owner, immediately it came to my mind. I mean, this is an amazing service for individuals changing their jobs, etc., or advancing their careers, skill set. But as a company, we're in tech, and I would love to have my sales team, be able to do a course like this or something with an organization that has the skill set you guys have. Is that something you guys are offering, or something you may offer to corporations in the future, or how does that look?
ooh.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Dan.
No, you go ahead. And this is a really good question because I'm interested.
Yeah. Sweet. That's awesome. Well, we can have guys reach out to you if you like. So we that's the other portion of our ecosystem that I think is the part of the secret sauce. We have employer partners, because as you said, I mean, I'm sure that you guys are involved in your sales deals, at all kinds of different levels, right? And
Absolutely.
This is a common thing when you're a founder and you're transitioning from founder-led sales over into, I got to build up my first sales team, or maybe I have a sales team that I need to scale up, or maybe my sales team is already super tapped and I need to be able to add people to that sales team. So we provide 3 different ways in which we can do that. So we provide your traditional recruiting services, where we can businesses can work with us so that we can understand what their needs are from a sales perspective, and then we can bring forward candidates and graduates that'll fit their needs. We also offer up things like sales training. So if you have a current sales so if you have a current sales team, but you're looking to level them up, or you're thinking, hey, I've got BDRs right now and I really want to get them leveled up so that they can start being account executives, things like that, we can provide them with that upskilling.
Hold on, I'm actually here at uvaru.com. I'm signing up right now for one of the sales.
Perfect.
Great.
Perfect.
That's great. John Moon will be in touch with you then. He's a fantastic fellow. He'll be able to walk you guys through everything that you need.
Amazing.
And then the third option that we offer is an extended SDR team. So if you have a sales team that's already in place, but you're looking to add additional headcount, and you also don't really have a lot of that infrastructure that's built out to support the sales team, this is something that we can do. Is we can support you on that sales tech stack. We can give you the hands-on coaching,
and that's exactly what we need.
Really?
Yes.
Great.
Yes. So
well, I think a lot. I mean, to that point, I think a lot of small to mid-sized businesses have that struggle, right? It's the infrastructure versus sales model, and it's like, how do I scale, and what's the right approach, and are my guys up to speed? And if I sell too much, so my back end hurt. If I don't sell enough, my back end hurts. It's like
constant,
so. It's
isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yes. It's back and
so
forth.
we want to help alleviate some of that pain for companies.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I appreciate that.
All right, I have another question from Alexis Ramirez. He asked, "Do you have a program to help graduates get a job during the tech sales?" We talked about that, right? So the after the education, then you guys do all of that and help out.
Certainly,
right?
We provide the career counseling services. That component is a well fleshed out element of our program. A good example of this, something that like Alex offers up, is every so often we'll put up events where we'll talk through how do you go about cultivating your personal brand, or how do you go about using things like Canva as a resume template.
Yes. Yes, really. I mean, you guys are completely turning things upside down, as I was saying, because you're using technologies that are like now current, not
Yes.
10,
Yeah.
10 years ago, Canva,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly. Gone are the
I
days when you're
love
building it
Canva
out in
too,
Word.
right?
What I think is really cool about what you guys do too is in business, and I just want to relate it to us because, we always strive to have mentors, teachers teach us how to be better, teach us how to grow, learn from their experiences. And I think the traditional institutions, as much as they try to have an infrastructure, it's kind of like you graduate and you're out on your own, even though there is an infrastructure. I'm not knocking anybody,
No,
but
no,
it's
no.
almost like you guys are a mentor as well as a teacher along the journey, which is, I think, critical to an
Yes.
advancement and a career change. I think that's so important.
Well,
Yes.
one of the interesting things that I find is, like, I surf the, our internal communications, with the students, um, and there's this interesting ecosystem that's building out here, like in that community, where you've got graduates who have been in their positions for a while, and sometimes maybe they're looking to, like, for an advancement or a promotion, because they've been in as a BDR and SDR for a little while, and now they're looking to upgrade into an AE position. Um, and oftentimes these guys will be talking about their experiences with students who are currently in the cohort
Right.
or have just recently graduated. And so you've got this incredible kind of community that's building out, where not only do you have the instructors that are available, but you've also got this community they've gone before. They can
Right.
tell you what to expect,
Nice.
and they're
Exactly.
so happy to share their knowledge with their
Yeah.
colleagues. And
Yes.
I
I think
find
that's
that so
that's so
exciting.
important. Yeah, I agree.
So
I think that's
important.
great.
It's all about building community, man, and
Totally.
that's where it's at, right?
Yeah.
I have another question from Gladstone. He asks, on average, how long does it take for a graduate to secure work after completing your program? Very
Oh,
interesting questions.
awesome question. Yeah. So we're finding, so it can vary, but we do find that people tend to find work, it's pretty quick. Um, and like I was mentioning beforehand, we do have, there are increasing individuals who are securing employment prior to actually graduating out of their class. Yeah, so it's quite a short time period that they're actually finding work after their program.
Yeah, and the thing is, and maybe you can mention this as well, right? Like the demand for tech sales is
Oh yeah,
huge, right?
huge,
What were
huge.
some of the stats that you were giving me?
Oh geez, I think I'm probably going to get this number a little bit inaccurate, but I think it was somewhere around the vicinity of like 200 or 365,000 jobs in North America
In
that
North
are
North
like
America?
America.
specifically
Wow.
tech sales. Yeah,
It-
and they can't find positions, And the
yeah.
funny thing is like I mean, I was downtown Toronto yesterday, and you take a look at all of these restaurants that are now opening up, and they've got help wanted signs in every single place, right? It's the same thing for tech sales.
Yeah.
It's just that their help wanted signs are all up on online. People are desperate to be able to fill their
Yeah.
sales
Yes.
teams with qualified individuals.
I know,
So
and the thing is, like, this is what I love about tech sales as well, is that, as I mentioned before, you can be working remotely, so you can find a job,
yeah,
let's say in Texas, for example, or Miami, which they pay you more because it's in U.S. dollars,
yep,
and connect from here. You have good internet, a microphone, and a camera, and then you're all set,
you're good to
right?
go.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely. The
Amazing.
Yeah.
world is your backyard now with technology, right? Literally.
It is. Yeah, it's this really interesting intersection where we're at right now between technology and then like this sort of customer service oriented um, industries. They really enable us.
Absolutely. So, Adam, we're running out of time. We only have 2 minutes. So,
My
in a
goodness.
nutshell, Adam Steven, Director of Growth Marketing at Uvaru. How can we contact you? Employers who are looking for talent and get into beef up your sales department, and also, people that are looking for careers, change their career and study. How do they contact you? Or who do they contact? What do they have to do? What are the next steps?
Awesome. Yeah. So we're really actively engaged on social media. So if you did like a search on Uvaro through any of the regular social media platforms, you'll find us. If you're going to our website, I would recommend if you're an employer and you're looking to fill up seats because you have a sales pipeline that needs working on, you can find us at uvaro.com/talent. And if you're somebody who's considering a career change, give tech sales a thought. And you can find more information out at uvaru.com.
Uvaru.com/talent. So I'm
That's
posting
right, yeah,
this
for
on
the
on
employers.
our chat, right?
Perfect.
Uvaru.com/talent. Amazing, and I love this, man. I love this conversation because this is right up our alley.
It's exciting times.
Yeah, exciting times. I love the fact that I asked you how to contact you, and instead of like, oh, you have to go here
I said
and
go to work.
like registered, and like we'll mail you a piece and then you have to write it down and put it back in the mail. No, you're like, hey, just contact us in social media. We're everywhere. So
Oh yeah.
so I guess
Yeah.
like Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere you need to more questions, just put in a message and Uvaru will answer you, right?
That's right. Yeah. And we commonly get folks who will contact us through those platforms. And we're pretty proactive in responding. So, you'll hear back from us for sure. We
Amazing.
want to help.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love the fact that you guys are taking the fear factor of tech sales and eliminating it and making it
Yeah.
accessible to anybody and everybody, which is kudos to you guys for doing that. It's unbelievable. And you helping our industry dramatically by doing that. So
Yes.
I love it.
So
That's awesome.
Adam, do you have a few minutes for a few other questions that we have?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay,
of
so
course.
wonderful.
everybody, we're already past the time. It's already 12:45 p.m. We're supposed to end the show, but we have a few questions that I just want to be able to cover, and then we're on the way out, right?
Awesome.
On average, how long does it take for graduates? Oh, already. Hold on. Sorry, I was just repeating our question. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
all.
It's the same question. You already answered that question, so never mind. Adam Steven, Director of Growth Marketing, Uvaru, uvaru.com/talent. If you're looking for talent, thank you so much, Adam. Next Friday, 12 p.m., we have Moriah Bakers. She's a life coach. She has a really cool program called Get Things Done and Have Fun. And it talks about procrastination and tech, right? So thank you so much, Adam. Yeah, you're welcome to join.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Join
will.
us, Adam.
Have a great weekend, everybody, and see you next time, Friday, 12 o'clock, YouTube Live, LinkedIn Live, Facebook Live. See you there.
See you guys. See you later, Adam. Thank you.